here in Clewiston, Florida, a guy who teaches on the lake here, a guy who guides on the lake. He really also a professional fisherman.
Wants to win this one, boy.
Oh, absolutely. He's having his best year ever in professional
And the TV
fishing.
announcers introduced one of professional bass fishing's real shining stars, Steve Daniel. And in a sport that's becoming so visible to millions of people now, here's a young man with successes on all major fishing circuits and has a knack for catching the right fish at the right time.
Everybody's dream is to catch a bass over 10 pounds. Even in Florida, we see a lot of 10-pounders from time to time, but to catch one in a tournament, it's just something special, and something that, you might never do again. And to catch one in the first FLW tournament, it's exciting for me.
Of course, this is a sport where communicating is so important, and Steve's been blessed with the talent to teach, the talent to explain his techniques really to the masses. Boy, he's a real favorite on television.
Suspended right under the top of it. It fell with a 1-ounce sinker. It didn't fall 2 feet, and the fish, when he hit it, it looked like it knocked a foot of slack in my line.
Steve was a Boilermaker back in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and his wife, Debbie, using her own money now, entered Steve in his very first bass tournament. He won that event. It really set the stage for his future in the world of professional bass fishing. Here's Steve still teaching right now, but that was in 1981. And in 1984, he quit his job, started fishing full-time. He moved down to Lake Okeechobee, where he began to hone his skills and become a very talented, well-rounded bass fisherman.
Big 1-ounce sinker. Just kind of keep it not real tight on the head. That way it gets kind of bends a little and it seems to fall through the grass a little better.
The sponsors that backed Steve and Debbie back there in 1984 were Ranger Boats and Evinrude Outboards. And you know what? They're still standing behind them 20 years later. The Daniels have a real sense of loyalty towards the sponsors who really helped them make their dreams come true. Steve has won 3 FLW events, including the very first FLW championship where he outfished 50 of the best competitors in the world to claim that title. Now let's get just a little closer to Steve Daniels, and you'll see why he's so popular in the bass fishing world.
Steve told us yesterday he knows where some fish are, and if conditions are just right, he could bring in a big stringer. Are we being dishonest about that? Is that the truth, Steve Daniel?
Well, so, who knows? I've struggled today. Luckily I've caught 2, and they're both nice ones, and I just need to catch 3 more. I fished my shallow pattern. I haven't done any good at all with it.
How do you like in the weather? Is this what you wanted or not what you wanted?
It don't really matter. The water is real high. I thought maybe the shallow spinnerbait fish would bite. I hit my key areas, never had a bite, so I got out of them. And if I had caught one in that spinnerbait area, I would have probably run it the rest of the day. But I'm going on defense now. I'm going to try to catch 3 more.
Steve, what do you mean when you say you're gonna go on defense now?
Well, I got a little place over there. I can work hard and catch 3 more. I knew I could catch 7 pounds yesterday, and I did. And actually, I caught the 3-pounder out of that area, so there may be some better fish there than I think. And I'm just going to go back over there and not try to really do anything fancy. I'm just going to go fish hard, and I know I'll catch 3 more.
All right, well, we'll be watching, and we'll be with you every step of the way. That is Steve Daniel out there, 5.5 pounds, unofficially our leader at this point, but there's a lot of fishing to come here at the Johnson Evinrude FLW Tour. Definitely one of the stars on this first year of the FLW Tour is this guy, Steve Daniel. Won our second tour stop on Lake Okeechobee and came back today with a plan, stuck to it, and was very, very successful. 8 pounds and 3 ounces of bass here on Lake St. Clair. We're back, and as promised, we're going to follow one of 2 local favorites in the competition here, Steve Daniel. He's gone past Rita Island, where we saw Marty Stone fishing earlier, to a place called Kramer Island, a little spot called Pelican Bay.
It's almost like that current holds that bait a certain way, and they just want it against the current. It's really a strange deal.
Boy, he's got a perfect situation where he can just lead them out in that heavier water and land them.
Thank you, Kellogg's. This big bright boat, and they see this boat, they don't even want to come up. I thought that fish was a lot bigger than that. But I'll take it. That's the skinniest one I've caught. make me nervous when they do that. Folks, I never get nervous bass fishing, but when you're fishing for 100 grand, those will make you nervous. Did all I could do. Somebody beats me, they just beat me. I can't do it anymore. And I had to stay in there, couldn't leave. So I'm happy with it. I just wish I could have caught one or two late in the day that might have helped me a little bit, but I can't complain. I've caught the biggest string I've caught so far, so that's, you know, that ain't bad. Let's go see what happens.
Well, we can tell you what happens. Steve, with Debbie right there in the front row, becomes a champion again. And he impresses an on-site audience, impresses an ESPN television audience, and represents his sponsors with a great degree of class, just like always.
Daniel from Lewiston, Florida. Tying the record. Tying the record. Woo!
You know, you get into situations where you can really get fishing very good, and I really have been lately. I've only had one bad tournament all year, and my style of fishing is dictating a lot of that according to the lakes we go to. A lot of fishing.
As you can see, dreams really do come true for those who are willing to work hard together. Steve and Debbie have always said there is no substitution for hard work to achieve your goals.